So I had this idea of climbing a mountain the other day. Been wanting to do this again for a while now, but there was never the right time or weather. So on the Easter weekend I finally packed my backpack and got ready to travel south, towards the Bavarian Pre-Alps. With not having hiked the Alps for such a long time, it was like 10 years, I felt like I needed to prepare really well. I am a list person, and even more than lists, I love hovering over possible future trips. The trail that I planned was supposed to be doable in about 6 hours. At least that's what I thought. Packing my gear was the first obstacle. I kinda want to go ultra light, but right now it just doesn't make sense. Not for day hikes, I think. So I brought a few things that I might not have needed. In the hiker community, there is a saying, you pack your fears. My fear is injury, so I brought my hip belt and a few other things for medical problems and injuries, just in case. And for some reason I also brought a water filter. I'm still not sure if that is really necessary. I have never used one before, but nearly everyone on the internet seems to have one nowadays. Packing up my things took me quite a while. My kid wouldn't sleep and I was pretty tired. On the next day, I got up 5 a.m. in the morning. I did not sleep so great. For 3 years I didn't need an alarm, because my kid usually wakes me up at the right time. Stupid strange. It was Easter Sunday, and outside people were gathering for an Easter Mass, carrying home these little candles through the streets of our quarter. It was still dark and quiet. I like quiet. I packed up my things and got out of the house. Getting up that early reminded me of my time as a nurse. It's just that I don't like getting up early. I never liked it, and I always looked forward to the day that I didn't have to anymore. I promised myself that I would never be an early bird, but someone who sleeps in whenever they have the chance. So it's nice and strange to get up for an adventure instead of work. I arrived at the train station quite early. Really the only other people I met there were hikers and construction workers. Maybe some hospital staff as well, just like me once. My ritual back in those days was to get a cup of vanilla coffee at the station and then drink it on the train. My ritual for hiking is to bring an alcohol stove wherever I go and make my coffee at the summit. I think if you allow yourself to be very present, cat on the hunt present, not office employee present, you can find calm in almost any given moment. I try not to look too hard for it though. I am at the point where I want to reproduce that calm kind of from within. The train station is not a beautiful place to me, not one that I connect with happy memories, but with stress and being tired. But it's a good place because it brings me to where I want to be. I have always liked train rides, since I can remember. Almost to the point that sitting on the train, looking forward to arriving, was better than arriving itself. This one was different though, because I was looking forward to another journey and not just a static place. I like the convenience of the train, of traveling towards something, being warm and comfortable while watching the landscape pass by. I was very much looking forward to the end of this train ride though, and to getting this mask off my face and breathing some fresh dung-scented air that you get in rural Bavaria. No, seriously, I never enjoyed the smell of cow shit that much in my life. So this is Koche, a sleepy village by a lake of the same name at the foot of the mountains. The first part of the hike was a road to the village. It leads to a parking lot from which a moderately steep trail goes to the first smaller mountain, this one. The mountains look so close if you stand right in front of them, but it can take several hours to get to the top. This first section was easy, but I knew that the second would be really hard, especially since I had not done this in many years. I got myself some trekking poles, which was a very good decision. At first I was skeptic because of the additional weight, but they came in really handy once I reached the icy and steep part of the trail. even though it's spring now in the valley and it's so sunny. When I arrived, it was 0 Celsius outside, which was a lot colder than I anticipated from the forecast. That, me being completely out of shape, and my utter stupidity to leave my gloves behind made this steep trail very challenging. But I did it. I think this is one of my favorite moments in every hike. To be able to look down and see the valley, see things getting smaller. The trail stayed that steep all the way to the top. I think I was outpaced by at least 20 senior dudes and ladies on my way to the peak. But that's just how it is if you're an unfit 30-something. So you better embrace the suck. I didn't even take notice of the height. I just kept going, or crawling to be more precise. There you can see the actual slope. It's a 44% ascending slope now, and it's pretty steep. Yeah, it's pretty steep actually. But I'm good. I'm taking it slow because I don't want to hurt myself, and sure as hell I'm not able to go back down there. At least I don't want to. I think this kind of trail is made for ascending, because going down there, yeah, I would like a rope to do that. Anyway, it worked. I'm almost at the top, so that is why I decided to get the camera out, because my fingers are warming up again, and there's not too much people here right now, because I actually met a lot of other hikers, and I think at the summit there are going to be a lot more. So yeah, I hope that is going to be nice, and then I will make my chai and my ugly ass coffee, because I didn't take the milk because I wanted to save like 100 grams. So stupid. Why didn't I bring the milk? Anyway, I'm hearing voices, which means I have to get out of here. Do you know that feeling? That feeling when you're just like hearing voices and you just want to get out of there because you want to be alone. Like I know, but I'm like that. I like that I'm here all alone. I don't like that it's not so safe, because it's much safer if you take a friend, and I would love to take a friend, but they all didn't have time. So I had to do it alone. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done it for another month, I think. And then it will be much hotter than now, and not so nice. And yeah, my fingers didn't freeze off. They're not even red. Maybe they get red, I don't know. They didn't freeze off. And yeah, I feel a little ashamed of myself because I forgot my gloves, but that happens. Oh boy. I was just like, what is this? Where's the trail? The trail's gone. Why is it not going any steeper? And then I realized that I was at the top. So I'm at the top now. It's amazing. Sunshine, beautiful ice and snow, and I'm gonna try and have my coffee now and rest a little, and yeah, find out if I feel strong enough to go to the second peak, because that would be amazing, and then I could go home and celebrate, or not, or just be happy. Along with my gloves, I had forgotten the matches at home, and my lighter wasn't working because of the cold. People looked at me like, what's she doing? Until I finally got the stove to work and made myself a nice, fresh cup of coffee. I made the two girls next to me one too, and I also had a tea. It was really nice. Nice to sit, nice to drink and look at the mountain chain. Is that it? I was asking a fellow hiker about the mountain closest to us. It was. This one, the one that I was sitting on having my coffee, was 1,200 meters. And the other one, about 1,600. I was unsure if I should go up there, but everyone kept telling me that it would not be so far. Note to self. Other people are not helpful when it comes to estimates. Even if you tell them that you're basically the slowest hiker on the planet, they will say, sure, do it. Because giving a good estimate for someone else is actually not that easy. So I said to myself, okay, why not? If it's too much, I can turn around. Only sometimes you really can't, or it is not a good option, because it will take too long to get it back down. The trail just got steeper and steeper, and quickly led to a snowfield, an accumulation of snow and ice that is hard to walk on without proper spikes. The hiking poles were a big help there, but it still took me much longer than it would have if I had had some more grip with my shoes. I think that I was pretty lucky here, because I actually do have alpine experience. I have done tours like this before, and maybe my feet could remember. Having sure-footedness is so important in this difficult terrain. I'm at 1,300 meters right now, I think. Maybe a little more, 1,350 maybe. Still not at the top, but it looks pretty good, and I found this amazing spot, this old dead tree, and I can see a plateau and a lot of other mountains which are full of ice, and there is trees everywhere. It's really beautiful. Like, it's really uplifting. It's just like, what I don't get is why people are so weird here. I don't know. Is that Munich? Is that this area? I have no idea. But literally, someone was giving me crap because I couldn't move up the hill that fast. I think she was pissed because I didn't say hello, but I couldn't have said hello by any means. So if you ever watch this, screw you. Really, seriously, what's wrong with people? I kind of don't get that, you know, like, if I'm superior at something, I wouldn't want to make someone else feel inferior to myself. I would want to give them the feeling that they could also do it. Because what do I get out of, you know, belittling anyone? I mean, unless they're really assholes, but just, you know, like, it's hiking, everyone can get into shape, everyone can do it. I did it before, so ew. Look at that. Yeah, it's not that hard. It's just experience. You can accumulate it with the years off. Anyway, it's so great to be in nature again. It's really calm, and I feel like I'm almost disturbing this calm by vlogging, you know, because it seems so ridiculous. Like, I'm here on this beautiful mountain, and I wouldn't even feel bad if I would go down right now and descend and go back, but I wouldn't know how, because the slope is really, it's made for going up. At this point, I realized how long I had not seen another human. I had hiked for about another 3 hours, and the trail was not getting any easier. I wanted to be on the mountaintop at around 3 p.m, but it seemed less and less doable. Turning around was not a good option though, so I kept going, just to find more snow. I stopped to listen if I could hear other people, and I realized that I had only seen 2 other people go up this trail. As much as I enjoy solitude, I started freaking out a little. However, that does not do anything for you on a mountain. You need to stay realistic. I was warm, I wasn't hungry, I had enough water, and I had 2/3 of the distance behind me. The only problem was that it was not getting any less exhausting. So just when I was about to facepalm myself for my hubris, I saw the peak and heard the voices up there. I felt such relief. When you see the peak, it can still be like another hour though, but I knew that, and it just gave me so much strength. After another 1.5 hours, I was finally at the top, just to realize that I would have to make massive changes to my plan in order to get home before dark. I'm at the top, but this is stupid. I'm not going to do anything that difficult again. I'm going to take it slow next time. I mean, it is safe, pretty much, because there are a lot of people here, but I'm so stupid, you know. I mean, I have some alpine experience, mountaineering and stuff, but really, 10 years is a long time, so no, don't recommend this to anyone. This was a beautiful journey. At times I felt very weak and out of shape, but also strong. Like, if I was able to come out fine from such a difficult hike, I could probably do a bunch of other difficult things in life. And that is what hiking is all about. It's about stepping out of your comfort zone to find that you are stronger than you think.